The mock-up motor is in. This is my old P-pump 12 valve. This thing has 0 crank in it. There's no camshaft. See what I mean? There ain't nothing in the motor. Makes it a little bit lighter. Even putting this thing bare into this car, it was still like putting a big block in a muscle car. It was kind of crazy. But the motor, man, it fits in there good. It fits right in there. So this one, there's no transmission hooked up to it. It's just a mock-up block. Now the reason why I did this is because we have 2nd gen mounts, motor mounts in this, because the 1st gen mounts we just don't trust. So put the 2nd gen mounts in. And there's some mods that we're gonna have to do to the engine crossmember there. You can see it's kind of touching right now. Some mods we're gonna have to do that, build a bracket to use these. And on the other side, it's well, it's hitting the frame. Gonna have to do some notching out there. But we got our shock towers built. Very good job on that, Tony. Tony did an awesome job. We did other shock mounts because the original ones just kind of sucked. They didn't look very good. In this case, this truck car, CUDA, will be getting a compound turbo set up. So the new header system we got being made right now will dump the turbo about where it is, but a little bit further forward, and then it'll branch off to the big turbo that'll be sitting right here. So it's perfect space for it, and they got plenty of room for the crazy stuff we're going to do with the exhaust that I'm not going to really mention yet, but it's going to be pretty cool. All right, let's recap on this. So this is what's happened so far. I see this thing got pretty long, but it's looking really good. So you can barely see, you can see the valve cover sticking up over the fender. These hoods have a long arch to them. The bulkiness of the hood, because there's a cowl going on it and all that stuff, will make up for this thing being that long in the front. Plus, we're gonna have a, a bull nose, big bumper in the front with a winch and all that. So it's pretty good. So what we did here is, this is 5 1/4 inch, also 5 1/4 and 5 1/4. So we went 5 1/4 that way, obviously. And we're just gonna fill these 3 squares in and do the same thing to the other side. These right here are those pieces. You got where the gills are, right here, the top, and the whole side that goes here. Okay, so this is gonna have to have a break to make the line, and then there's another break down here, which is right here, and then another break here. Then we'll end up welding the entire thing all the way on, and that piece too, weld it completely on, and then the back, extending this whole thing out. Then come back and put this in and weld it too. But while we're doing all that, all of this is gonna have square tubing along the whole side of it, just to keep it all flat and straight. And then we'll come back and dolly it, and it'll be ready to go. All right, so just take a quick break from welding really quick. So these are the 5 1/4 inch patches here. The extensions, not patches, but that's them. They're all ground down and dollied out. Now these are also DA sanded, okay, with this thing. This is with 80 grit, and that's why you're seeing those crazy patterns in there. But you can see kind of where the weld is. I'm gonna go and dolly that out and get those out, but now you can see right here, there's a little bit of a hump, and I'll be dollying that out next. When you're dollying that out, you wanna make sure the inside is ground down and flat, or else your dolly's just gonna, you know, it'll hit a weld, and when you hammer over that, it's gonna make a mess. The important part is when you're doing fenders like this, or any part for that matter, but especially fenders, because this part back here flexes a lot. When you're doing that, you want to make sure to get down at about this angle and make sure this part of the front of the wheel well is even with that part back there. Because when it's not, that will drop down and twist everything. This is how it would sit on a car naturally. It would sit straight and flat like that. And that's what you're looking for. So right now I'm doing this one. I'll be getting the other fender done today too. And Tony is working on the header panel. The header panel is what goes on the front of the fender. It sits against the hood, the front of the hood. On Challengers and all that, the hood comes all the way forward. This part is part of the hood. But on a CUDA, a Camaro, you know, 69 Camaro, they have header panels, and that's what this is. So this piece is gonna get extended, that 5 1/4 inches, or we're just gonna extend the hood. I haven't really decided yet. It'd be a lot easier to extend this than the hood, because the hood has a curve all the way to the front, and you gotta do something with that. It's looking pretty good. So he's coming a long way on that, as you saw in the other parts of the video, because this was the original piece, and it was just crushed. Yeah, that's the original piece. Just battered. But that's that. And we'll continue on to the other fenders. All right, so we are all done with that passenger side fender. And you can see there, came out pretty good. That is the driver side fender that I haven't done yet. Big difference. So we are gonna move the antenna hole. I gotta ask Matt if he wants to even keep it. So I don't know, usually we take them off cars, but that thing looks really short now. I'll get a shot from back here. You can see the difference in those. So just to recap and go back over why this is done this way, is because this distance here between the door, the rocker panel, and the back of the tire, this fender, the factory one, these are aftermarket fenders, so nobody can get all mad about that, because I mean, I wouldn't cut up a factory 71 fender, but when you can buy this. So this portion down here, it only goes to like right here. I need the bottom corner of this fender to sit at the back of the tire, and then we're gonna extend the wheel well out about that much. Pretty much the whole bottom of the front of this fender is coming off. I'm done with this other fender. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is get this other fender going. All right, so we're looking good on the fenders, and we'll be moving over to what Tony's doing right now. He's putting these floor pieces in. This right here is a box that had to be made for the body mount. I'm doing this piece right now, which we'll get into in just a second. So moving this wheel well back, and then move the, I'm gonna show you here, we'll cut right here. We're gonna cut that, and then move this back, and so this wheel well will be 5 inches longer. And then the fenders, which you already saw, this one's getting done right now. Where we are right now, the top needs to be welded up still. He's doing the demo doors, so this is a bare metal right now, and it has the acid. Well,
he really means barely metal, but.
Ray?
What?
Thank you. We'll have it's the metal prep. This is getting done, and then we'll do the outside of the door.
Make the old guy do it, so that way in case he dies.
Okay. So he's gonna be doing this one next. You can see it's been blasted, but there's just like a lot of handprints on it, and the inside's a little dirty. These were definitely not my fingerprints. They're babies.
They're oily handprints.
Definitely. Look at the palm. No.
There it is.
Oh, maybe it is. That's what Ray's doing, and Jaime's gonna shoot these, prime them. We're gonna put them on the car because they got to be on the car for us to put the fenders on. And then you're gonna put the covers right here, right? He's making covers for these. This is where the frame rails come through the floor. Looks good. So it changes this weird color whenever the air hits.
It's called oxidation.
That's what it is, oxidation. Good job, Tony. This is a bunch of lead from probably way back in the day. Got to get that cleaned up. Doors look pretty good. We're actually gonna seal these in black. Fix it up, but right now we're gonna go out to eat for Ray's birthday.
They're gonna go out to eat. They're gonna leave me here.
Yeah, that's what we'll probably do. We'll go out to eat. You know what? We're gonna do that. How old?
21.
21. Ray just turned 5,000. Well, we're gonna get back at it now. That fender got real long, but looks really good. The next thing I'm gonna do, probably Monday morning, is where that green tape is, take that and move it out, get rid of all that metal that's right there on the left-hand side of that green tape, and then the fender is done. Now these right here, those are factory little gills that go into the fender. We got other plans for those. That's how you know it's a 71 CUDA for most people, aside from the grill and taillights. Right here, the 71 is the only year that had those. Now moving on to the other side of the car, y'all saw Tony doing his header panel. The thing turned out absolutely amazing. So we're gonna blast this and then also put it in the black sealer. So have the mock-up motor in it. That is for the 41 military truck. It's called the G506. Made this one into a 4-door a long time ago and haven't worked on it since. Actually, really need to get this thing going, but you can see it's huge inside now. Okay, off topic. And still moving on the Daytona nose cone. Thing's coming along pretty good though. It looks pretty cool. Those are halo fog lights down there. The top's basically cut off of them, and it's got crazy headlights set up out of a Acura MDX. Yeah, that's 5 headlights. This, man, look at that fender. My God. I really like that. Now, you can see it's even with the wheel now. Whereas before, this right here was 5 inches forward, so it came to somewhere in here on the tire. Now the front is even and the back is just about even. The tires do need to move forward just a little bit. You can see I got a center line for the axle sitting in there. And it's a Cummins water pump that I use for the weight. Yep, works pretty good. So I do need to mention this. You see that rod sitting in there? So the reason why this fender's on here is because I went straight through here in the front around to the door to get that curve. Okay, I used what I had to get the contour. So this should be pretty close to what that Dodge dually fender is. You can see how it's got that curve, then it's flat, and then it curves a lot at the back. The fender that I make for this is gonna be shaped the same as this. It's gonna have a curve coming up, a flat spot, and it will be a bolt-on. I don't want to do a wide body on this. I actually want it like a Dodge or a Plymouth, you know, Plymouth made Dually CUDAs. But it's gonna go into the door. The original line, you can see it goes in here. So basically this dually fender is gonna run into the door, and then we'll have the same shape for the door seam going all the way down. So when you open the door, the front quarter of the fender is gonna go with the door. It's gonna look pretty good. So we got this tire sitting in the middle here, and that tire back there with the rod for the dually fender sitting in the middle of that tire. just want to say, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. That would help us out a lot. And if you're not, thanks for tuning in again. I'll have a lot of videos coming up pretty soon, like I said. And another thing, our bunker branding shirts are on the way. So they came up with really good designs, and really nice clean shirts, nice clean designs on the shirts, and I love them. I think they're gonna be great. And then we're gonna continue to add, you know, a lot of different shirts on the way. So it's shirts and hats, and hopefully like tank tops and stuff would be cool. But so if you like it, it's not up yet, but it will be very soon, and I will let you know when the Muscle Rod Shop bunker branding site is up. If you want to know what's coming up before the YouTube video comes up, we put it on Instagram, so we'll put some pictures over there about videos that are coming up soon for YouTube. So if you'd like, it's at Muscle Rod Shop for Instagram, and you can follow us there. That'd be great too. Look at the size of this car. Well, that's about it. Gone over everything that I can think of, everything we've done so far. So, as always, thank you for watching Muscle Rod Shop. See you next time.